on directing team. How's it going, y'all? I am Dotsale, the undirected guy. We got to talk about this one, team. We have got to talk about this. And my question is this. I got a few questions, but we're going to start with this one. How can you hate kids when you were a kid yourself? Also, if you have an ideology, which many have, I mean, a lot of people have this thought process of, I don't want kids, I don't like them. We're going to go through some of the reasons why. We're actually going to look at a post where the question is posed, single people with no kids, aren't y'all bored? And we get a series of comments discussing. My other question is this, though. Now, as an adult, you have a thought process of, I don't want kids, I'm not going to have kids. Fair enough. Now, if your parents that had you had the opportunity to make a decision on having you or not, because they thought, you know what, I don't want to have kids, and you were going to be the deciding factor on if you were born or not. We're just saying that you could from the other dimension of you not being born yet, your parents are getting ready to make a decision on if they want to have kids or if they want to live dink, dual income, no kids. But you could be the angel on their shoulder or the devil on their shoulder and whisper into their ears, hey, you should have kids, or you should have a kid. And you have the option, with you as your thought process of now being an adult, disliking and not wanting kids. What would you tell your parents in that moment? Would you tell them you're making the right choice by not having kids and therefore you would never be born? Or would you say, yes, please have kids, I want to be born? That's my question. Now, we're going to look at a post and, we can go to it now. It's a short monologue because we got a lot to discuss throughout this. And we're going to read a lot of comments and see what's going on with these evil people. Now, you might be wondering why I chose this setup. And when I think about some of these people, I actually have an image of these folks right here in the corner that I decided to put here. These people. These are the type of people that I feel like are the ones that hate kids, don't want them, and are discussing all of the evilness and disdain and selfishness within the comment section. So I put them there. Now we can go to some of their pictures and look at their profile and get a better understanding of what they actually look like. And, maybe we'll do that. But for now, we are going to look at the comments and we'll read some of them and we'll discuss. But my last thing is, and I want y'all to get involved in this conversation because I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from the people that have kids or that want to have kids and think that they're a blessing. I want to hear from the people that dislike kids and or think that they shouldn't have them. Now let's read this and go through some of the reasons of why and why not people don't want to have kids. Now the question is posed. Well, it's not necessarily a question. There's no question mark there, but it's still something that people chose to comment on. Single people. With no kids, aren't y'all bored? Aren't y'all bored, single people with no kids? So, we're about to see what people got to say. So we got the comments set on most relevant. So I guess we'll just rock with the most relevant comments. We do have other options for looking at the comments, and we can look at, these are the most engaging comments, basically. And then we could show comments with the newest comments first. So maybe we'll look at them because there's 790 comments here. We're not going to read them all. That would take, assuming that it took about a minute to go through every comment. Well, 790 minutes would be the duration. All right, let's start with this first one, though, with the most relevant. This is the one that everybody's seen when they first look at this post. Halila dash T, I don't know why I put that shishi in there. Says, why would I feel bored when I can invest in myself, socialize with friends, take vacations at my leisure, and enjoy any shows I desire? She goes on to say, that was a question that she asked, I have 2 dogs, and we've traveled the world together. Jesus. No cats? I don't think the cats like that. I think the cats are angry. And no one can judge my parenting choices, and I've noticed that many of my friends with kids often express regret about their decision. Is that real? So y'all might be wondering, I don't want to make this about me. But you might be wondering, do you have kids? Yes! I absolutely have kids. I had them when they were doing this, when they were young. And it felt so good to grab all of my babies and caress them. Say it's gonna be okay, kid. I got you. And raising them from being here to all of their accomplishments that they've had throughout their life. But like I said, I don't want to get it to being about me and my kids, because I can go on for so long about how they're incredible and how I would never, ever regret having my kids, and how I would feel like there was a huge void within my life if I didn't have them. And I'm not even going to go to the biological side of it about, bloodline and keeping your family name alive and all that, because that's also a big thing. But she says that often her friends express regret. I have to say that she's cap on that. However, let's keep on going. So, I don't know what's wrong with this woman. Oh, you want to look at the homegirl? Let's look at homegirl real quick. We'll pull up in a new tab. See if we can check her out. This is her right here. This is the woman that is happy with her dogs. And her Facebook page looks very happy. We got her IG. Let's check her IG out. Okay, can't look at that. That's fine. All right, we'll leave it at that. We're not going to be trying to go out of our way to look at her. I'm actually going to skip this comment. This is kind of disgusting. I have no idea what she's talking about. Let's see. Nope, well rested though. Wait. No kids, aren't y'all bored? Okay. No. Why would I get why would I get bored when you see these prices? So this guy's argument is saying, well, kids are expensive and there's no way in hell I can afford it. This is Carolyn Blake that says, let's check out Carolyn Blake. Single woman, no kids. Well, she has a kid right here though. Maybe she chose to have a kid later on afterwards. What we got? Single, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's going on with her. From what she says, though, no, she can't afford it. This person says, absolutely not. The amount of things that I have to tackle in addition to working multiple jobs is astronomical. We got a guy here. It's our first guy. Let's check him out. Is it Ryan? Just spelled a little bit different. Ryan Hassan. Ryan Hassan, this guy right here. Yeah. Yeah. This is him. This is Ryan Hassan. Oh. All right. We can't look at no more Hassan. You want to look at a little more? All right, let's do it. He looks like he's having a hell of a time in life. He looks like his life is fully fulfilled. He's with his other buddies that probably don't have kids either. This is how Hassan's living. Wow. Okay. All right. These are some of the people that are saying this. I'm not sure why we can only see 4 comments. Let's go to, let's show all comments. That'd be better. There we go. Okay, hold on. Oh, maybe I need to. Okay, here we go. I'd use the slider because I got it kind of blown up. So, all right, let's hold it right here, and we'll use this slider to go up and down, and we can see everything. Okay. This person. Nope. I enjoy the peace and quiet. I can do and go wherever I want, and don't have no one, and don't have to answer to no one, and I don't have to deal with any drama or stress. I don't understand that.
Are you just so old and ugly that you can't hear anymore?
So, I've never had to answer to my kids. I didn't know that adults and parents had to answer to their kids. I thought it was the other way around. So I'm a little confused on what he means by that. And then deal with the drama or stress. I guess, yes, not necessarily dealing with the children, but dealing with, I guess you would say, the other parent could equal drama or stress. Hey, you raise your kids right. They're not going to give you drama or stress. Go on, pop one out, sir. LOL. He's responding. I think about having kids on and off, but right now I think I enjoy my peace and quiet. Well, they say there's a biological clock on the women to have kids, and we might talk about that a little bit too, although that's not the focus. But basically, with the women, they have a clock as far as, 1 second, let me do something real quick. I'm usually doing 2 or 3 things at once, team, so that's part of it. They have a biological clock. So women need to have kids before, usually 40 at minimum, right? But if you wait too long, it gets more complicated. If you didn't have kids young and you try to have your first kid, like after 35, there's geriatric pregnancy and all that. Now, this guy is pretty old. So, why do we still got this open? Let me get that out of there. All right, this guy right here, we'll go to his page, see what we got with him. I mean, he's got to be post 50. And I'm giving him credit there. He's probably closer to 60. I don't know, like, they say women have a biological clock, but I would want to say that your semen probably isn't very strong and potent the older that you get. So it might be over for you. Your biological clock might be up too, buddy. All right, anyways. Nope, I have lots of pets and peace. All right. So, another question I have. Do pets make up for kids? And when you think about pets, a lot of these people's argument is they have peace. Now, I'm going to go off on a limb and say that the majority of people that have pets do not raise them correctly. They never take their pets to boarding school. They never, ever train their pets correctly. And they don't listen. So I'm gonna leave that part alone. I want to stay focused on the subject at hand. I'll just say that I've dated women with pets and it's usually a disaster. Now, this is her cat that she describes as her baby, right? Now, a cat's lifespan is usually gonna be about 1/10 of a human. Maybe a little bit less. I mean, pets, they can live anywhere from like 8 to 15 years on average, right? We'll go right in the middle and say it's usually going to be about 10 to 12 years. So basically, if you're a pet mom, you see your child and your dog or cat that you didn't actually produce that looks nothing like you and really is contingent on loving you based off the amount of food that you give it, if you give it food. Because if not, your pet will probably eat you. I don't think your kid's going to eat you. But your pet, yeah, don't give them no kibbles and bits for about 2 weeks. Don't give your dog no, what's a pet brand name? We're going to overtime. Sorry, team. I'm watching the game right now, too. You always doing 2 things at once. All right. So You're going to go here for it. So you don't feed your dog and give him some food and he gets hungry enough, he will eat you alive. Now, the other thing is this. You're going to see something very unnatural with this. And what's going to happen is you're going to go through about 3 to 7 pets in your lifetime, probably much more than that. You're actually seeing your children be sent to the next dimension over and over throughout your life, which is not natural. When you have kids, you're supposed to be the first one to go because you're supposed to have about a 20-year gap on your kids at minimum, but I'd say anywhere from 16 to a 35-year gap on your children. So naturally, you would go first. But when you have a pet, you actually watch your pet's demise multiple times, which, I mean, if you think of your pet as your kid, it should have some serious psychological effects on you. I'm just saying. It's just something I'm thinking about. Now, we're going to keep on looking. You don't get bored with ultimate freedom. Having babies because you bored is nuts. What? Who has babies because they're bored? I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. You mean you bored stuck in your house with them kids and only diaper screaming, single people out here enjoying peace and freedom? How long are your kids supposed to be in diapers? Because the last time I checked, my kids was potty trained by the time they were about 2 years old, maybe even earlier than that. I can't remember exactly, but I would probably go to say somewhere within a 2-year range, maybe even earlier than that. So I don't know what you mean about kids screaming in diapers. And my kids didn't scream and do all that stuff. Like I have very well-behaved kids. I mean, you know, they're humans, so we're going to make mistakes. You see adults do it all the time. However, I have no problem with that. And it never kept me stuck in the house. You know why? Because I can go out with my kids. Now, this is the other part of it. And I will say this. You might actually understand that I might act like a kid often. So I probably relate to them a lot more. And a lot of the things that I do, I can do with my kids. Like, for instance, well, I don't got it over here, but not too far out of frame is a Steam Deck. It is a handheld gaming device that I have a lot of emulators on so I can play multiple games. I'm not going to say what system, because for some reason I feel like the ninjas over at Nintendo, this ain't got nothing to do with it. They going to come over and snipe my video. Cease and desist. But, you know, I got PlayStation 5, Xbox. I got all the retro systems too. So, you know, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Wii U, Wii. I even got an Atari. Yes, I do have an Atari. So when I play video games, I can play with my kids. Me and my kids actually just completed Metroid, Super Metroid. I take them back because, you know, they're older. So, I mean, not older. They're outside of like the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo and the N64. But I take them back and we play retro games and they love them. They absolutely love them, although usually they're playing the more common, newer stuff, right? So it's never been an issue with that. Let's see what replies he got, though. So much fun out there. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun to be out in a bar, getting drunk, waking up with hangovers, being sick. Quite the opposite. The only thing I have to try to keep alive is myself. The selfishness that we're experiencing at this point is insane. It's insane. I don't get it.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with y'all.
Got a little attitude there. Is that it?
Is that it? You got an attitude? I only got to keep myself alive. That's great. So you wouldn't help anybody else out? So what about somebody trying to keep you alive? Did you ever think about that?
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. What do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. When you get older, and this isn't necessarily why you're supposed to have kids, but it's part of the process. when you become older in life and with a thought process like yours, you're more than likely going to be single. Well, your children will be there to help support you when you get older. It's only natural. I, for instance, have a great relationship with my mother, and I've been there for her, which is not very difficult to do at all because my mom takes care of herself and she eats healthy, and, you know, things will happen just as we get older. Naturally, our bodies are going to break down and eventually we will all meet our demise. However, you can make the process very, very easy to go through and at the best that it could be. Now, I'm there for her. It's something that she never has to worry about being alone as she gets older because she always has me as a great son because she was an excellent mother to me within the circumstances that she was given. Now, you, on the other hand, sure, you can keep yourself alive until you need help because we all do at some point. But your children will have the closest attachment to you than any other human, even the person that you wed as a husband, if you are lucky enough to get married, which I doubt. Let's check her profile out real fast. I'm interested. I'm interested to see. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. And she's got people in the comments that are giving her love. So she has plenty of love. Right? She got 15 hearts right here. Yeah. Melanie Dick likes her. Oh, yeah. I mean, why does she need kids? She got a college degree over at, what, did it say what college that was? Oh, it just says black colleges. All right. Shout out to her. No. When I work 50 hours a week, focusing on getting in shape, having a home to upkeep, and a cat to care for. Okay, back to the pet thing. So, pets, in my opinion, and like I said, these people's pets are usually untrained. Like, a lot of people that have pets, especially single people with this mindset that can't handle kids or dislike them, be having their pets all walking around on the counters. You go over there, they're like, hey, you want me to cook? You like, yeah, why not? Sure. Come over. Cat sitting right on the aisle. right on the kitchen island. She trying to shoot a cat off. The cat don't listen. The cat backing up, clawing at her and all that. The dog don't listen. You go in there, you got your nice dress shoes. You slide them off. You think they're good. You come back out. Your shoes are tore up. Dog done ate your whole shoes up. Ripped your suit jacket off the wall. Cat hair all over your fur. But that, and then also, I ain't even gonna get into animals sleeping in people's beds and all that. And they come straight from outside, like using the bathroom, and they hop right into your bed. It'd be on the top of your head, your hair be infused with cat hair. Like, all right, that's fine. I have no problem with pets. I'm talking more about from a standpoint of having pets that have structure, and then also saying that they're a replacement for kids. It is insane to me. This just me. This is actually the sentiment of all these people. Life is good with my dog. And here he is right here. This guy's happy. We got him right here. Where's he at? This is the car he drives. So what happened to everybody saying that, oh, well, I don't got any kids, I got all this money? This guy is not driving a Ferrari. It looks like he couldn't even he had to replace his hood, but he couldn't even, he got that from a junkyard because his hood is, unless that's how he wanted it, it could be two-tone. I'm looking at it though, and it doesn't look like that's the choice that he would want to make for his hood to be. I would think he'd want it to match the rest of his vehicle. Not to mention, if you look right on the front of his vehicle, he's got a big chip of paint off right there, right at the bumper at the bottom. So it's very likely that he just couldn't afford to get his hood painted, and that's the situation he's in now. These are the same people that are saying, well, I got all this money from myself. I can treat myself and do. You're not in a Lamborghini. You might as well have a kid as broke as you are. Now, he might have a hard time finding a woman that wants to have his kids. Genetically, from a biological standpoint, women usually want to have kids by the most, well, you can call it top 10, top 20% of guys, which is fine. But usually the one that are going to give their kids the best genetic chance when they fuse with the woman. Now, this guy's genes doesn't necessarily put him in a great position. Now, you might say, well, okay, he's not in the best shape. Well, his mind is going to have a lot of issues as well with his thought process on this dog. And he can also do this. Now, if I got a chance to drive my vehicle like that, well, I might have my kids in the car with me, and they would love it. And then I would let my kids drive the car just like this. I took my youngest son out. He was driving in the parking lot. It was so fun to teach him how to drive. It was so fun to teach him how to drive. Yo, can you teach little Rover here how to drive? You gonna you gonna teach Rover here how to drive, and are those fleas in his hair? All right, let me get out of here. I can't look at this no more. All right, let's look at some more of these comments. How far are we in? We had 30 minutes. We only got through like 10 comments. We can go through this forever, team. We're going to look at a few more and we're going to wrap it up. I actually really want to hear from y'all, team, but I know this is very interesting to y'all if you're still here at this point. And we might have to do a part 2 to this because there's just a lot to talk about when it comes to this topic. Let's see. So funny how some people try so hard to be a hater about it. I don't know what she's referring to just yet. It's always such stress. It's always such a stress. Meanwhile, friends who are parents are like, oh my God, what's it like to do what you want? Tell me. They say don't remember feelings or boredom. Kill to be bored just for a few minutes. I don't know what she's talking about. Y'all probably understood it better than me. Nope. But now I have to take care of my parents. I don't know what that means. Heck no. I can do what I want when I want, even if that's nothing. I have the freedom to do nothing all day. Yeah, she can do nothing all day. Dang, I did not mean to actually click on her post. Hope it doesn't lose my place. Yeah, this is her. This is what she gets to do. She gets to kiss dolphins. She gets to, I don't know what this is. Actually looks kind of cool, though, I ain't gonna lie. Whatever that is looks kind of cool. She gets to hang out with these people. She gets to do whatever this is. She gets to do whatever this is. She gets to be with, oh man, this doesn't look fun at all. Yeah, she's having so much fun here. That's koala. So, yep. Yeah. Yeah, she gets to, yep. Whoa. Beer league baseball. Yeah. You know, I play sports, and I've actually officiated at very high levels in sports as well. I play and I officiate. Now, for me, I have had the opportunity to, let me do this real quick. I've had the opportunity to play basketball and other sports. And my thing is this. It's never, ever once hindered me from being able to have time with my kids. I mean, not even close. Not even close. And you know what I do when I go to sporting events? You know what I do? I take I take my kids with me. I take them with me. And my kids and I, we go out and we enjoy ourselves. We absolutely enjoy ourselves, and it's never been an issue. Like, not even close. It's never been an issue. So I got an opportunity to do the state tournament in my state. So it's postseason basketball for high school. And my youngest son, he wanted to come and support me at the game. And he took a whole bunch of pictures of it. I got them right here on my phone. And I gave him, some cash. He was able to go get some snacks, and I think he got popcorn and candy and treats and stuff like that, ice cream, whatever they had there. I gave him $20, said, do whatever you want to. He took a whole bunch of really cool pictures for me. And we got a chance to talk about the game afterwards, and he asked me a whole bunch of questions, and we had a lot of fun out there. Now, I got it right here. Yeah, that's me right here. Look, see it right here. These pictures were taken of my son. By my son, I should say. And he enjoyed it. He had fun. See it right here. That's me doing a state tournament game. My son's taking the pictures. Pictures and videos. And I got a whole, you can look right here. All of these are all pictures that he took at the game. And I can use these for content. I can have them as memories. Me and him have a great relationship. My kids are actually similar to my best friends. And he's really funny too. I'm gonna give y'all the audio. Just listen to him right here having fun. He's gonna make this comment about the kids. He had too much fun. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna wait for this one part. He said they got two M&Ms on the team. He over there having a conversation. Look right here. Oh, he's just having a whole bunch of fun. And, my children are they're like my best friends, man, at the same time. Now, I'm a parent. I'm not one of those parents that just let my kids do whatever they want to. They're very well trained. And they are actually, and I didn't want to go on a whole rant about my kids and how amazing they are, because our kids are always going to be amazing to us. To y'all, they're just normal human beings, and that's fine. But I will say this, they are biologically gifted. I gave them an incredible mind, body, and soul to the point where they are built like machines. They have the minds of a genius, and they have the athleticism of name a great athlete. They are all extremely, extremely athletic and gifted and very, very smart. And they got nice teeth too. My youngest son got braces in his mouth right now. We're fixing his teeth because we care about our kids. Now, you, on the other hand, have no kids. Well, maybe you don't have anybody to take pictures of you and support you when you're at your games. All right, let's see. We're going to look at a few more, and then we're going to get out of here. Now, I know some people are going to agree with me, and some people are going to be very, very angry at this. And they're going to be basically most of the people that we're seeing in this comments. I've seen not one person in this comment or in these comments that like kids. This is insane. This is actually insane. Let's look at a couple more. We'll go down. All right. Let's try to find one person that actually... All right, we're going to end it with this. We're going to try to find one person, just one, that actually agrees that having kids is great. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I hate doing what I do. Peace and quiet. Nope, voices in my head keep me company. I have a full-time job that keeps me plenty busy. In an apartment, I'm the only one who cleans, so I'll have enough to keep me preoccupied till bedtime. That's not really an issue either. My kids clean up after themselves. Sometimes I have to kick them in the butt to get them to do it, but, you know, they'll pretty much do it after a while, and that's just part of it, because I'm pretty sure you don't clean your apartment all the time either unless you have company coming over. I got another vacation booked for next month already. Nah, he says. Well, you know what? Next vacation I take, I'm taking my kids with me. Sometimes I'd rather have enough spare time to be bored every once in a while than have kids and have zero spare time. Does anybody like kids? Now enjoying my peace, only bored? Hell no. I got 5 kids and I still be bored? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Does that agree with it? Does anybody have the same thought process as me, or am I alone in this? Sometimes usually find things I enjoy until I feel enough time. All right, team, I don't think we're going to find one. This video could go on forever. We're already at 36 minutes and we ain't found one person that likes kids. Oh no, all this extra income and sleep, what will I ever do? What am I going to do with my 2-seater car? The action of just getting up and going wherever when I want. Don't get me wrong, I love kids, but unfortunately cannot carry. Let's see if she has the lifestyle of somebody that is rich, because she says she got all this extra income. Well, let's see. I see nothing out of the ordinary that says that you're living a lavish lifestyle, shorty. Nothing. Let's look at her shoes. I'd assume that you'd have some very expensive shoes on your feet. Purse is nothing to speak of. Glasses frames are nothing to speak of. Jacket. I mean, you're wearing probably about $120 on your body in total. And I think that might be overestimating. The thing that probably costs the most is your jacket and your shoes. And your shoes look like they're about $29.99 from Kohl's. And your jacket looks like it's about the same price from Kohl's. Okay. I thought you had a lot of extra income. No nice car, nothing to really show. Let's look at some more pictures. Where's the money at, shorty? This your car? This what you driving with all that money? Van shirt, cheap. Shorty looks broke. Where's all the extra money at? It's pretty clear to know that I have more money than her and I have multiple kids. So I don't really know what the hell's going on. Not to mention, my kids have everything they need. Put my oldest through driver's ed. He's got a vehicle that I bought for him. Obviously, his mom does incredible. Shout out to her. Now, I will say this. The kids really ain't the problem. The person that you have kids with is probably going to be a way bigger issue than the kids. You have kids with the wrong person, it can be miserable. So I'm glad I ain't have that issue. Let's see. Now I have peace. All right, team. We're going to go through 5 more. I don't think we're going to get there. In a relationship, no kids, and life is boring. Okay. How earth, peaceful life, not at all. Nope. Love being, nope. Okay, we're done with this team. A little bit, but rather than having a toxic baby mama. No, bro. I am getting my sleep and keeping more of my money. Again, this money stuff. I'd much rather have cats or a dog so I can continue to keep my peace and freedom. You can't have freedom with a dog. You can't. You know why? Because dogs take away your spontaneity much more. You got to find somebody to watch your dog. So your dog has to be taken out all the time. When you have a kid that's, well, at a certain age, you don't have to watch them all the time. But also, with your dog, you can't even take a trip unless, like you said, that other one, you got to bring your dogs with, which is a whole headache. Traveling with pets cannot be that simple. I've never done it, but I know that not going to be something that is going to be the most efficient way to travel, although it can be done. You're going to have to use an app like Rover to get somebody to dog sit. And most people don't want to watch your dogs. People will watch your kids a lot easier than to watch your dog. Me and my wife have fur babies. Why do you have a wife and you don't have kids? Why? What's the point of getting married without kids involved? And now I'm asking a real question. Wait. Can y'all actually have kids? What is going on? Of course you don't have kids. You're with a woman. Talk about misleading. You can't have kids with her. That's fine. I don't have an issue with the relationship. I'm just saying, like, you don't even have that option. All you have the option first for our babies. So in your case, fair enough. I'll rock with that. Much rather have cats, continue my peace and freedom. All right, this is the last one we're going to look at. She got a whole bunch of money. Let's see the money that these people have. I just can't wait to see a Lamborghini. Nope, looks like you're eating at a cheap fast food restaurant. Is that Chick-fil-A? You look like you got no money for retirement. Where's the money at, man? Y'all got all this extra money. Where's it at? This is actually the best argument to have kids. This makes me actually want to have another kid. I damn near want to start over and have a whole nother kid. Although my kids are older now, so it's even more fun to have them. However, posts like this make me think that I should just have like a bunch of babies. All right, let's go into undirected perspective. We are going to go dark for this. We have to go dark, team. And the reason why is because this is insane. It's absolutely insane. And the reason why is because if you look at a lot of the things that we're hearing, right? I'm going to go here with it. If you look at a lot of things that we're hearing, none of the actual reasons make logical sense. And also, there's nothing that has to do with the future. I want to look at it from a different lens before we get out of here. And I want to think about it from the lens of your parents. Do your parents want you to not have children? Because I was able to give my mother grandbabies, and my children's mother was able to give her mother grandbabies, and her dad, and I guess, my dad, if that's the case too, I was able to give them grandbabies, right? And I have to imagine that that's something that all grandparents want. Like, your parents would want you to have kids so they can have grandbabies. No? It just seems like a natural thing. So it seems even more selfish than just yourself. You're actually disgracing your parents. Because I'm not really but then you could actually blame the parents for raising a kid that doesn't think that having kids is the right thing to do. Maybe y'all gave your parents such a hard time that you're like, I don't want somebody to do the same things that I did to my parents to me. That would make sense. For me, I would never allow my kids not to have kids. And you might say, how are you going to do that? You can't. No, actually you can. You can very easily prevent your kids from having this ideology and thought process. And you know how you do that? You raise them correctly. And under every circumstance, you allow them to understand how important it is. So me, as long as I stay alive long enough, I will have grandbabies at some point. And assuming that my kids stay alive long enough too. We don't want that to happen. We need this. My kids be powered up. Yo, and then going to like, how could it be boring? How could it be boring when I get an opportunity to see my kids win all the time? Yeah, so many accomplishments, graduation, middle school or elementary to high school, winning sporting event tournaments, trophies, acing math tests, doing so many different things, watching them learn, like literally seeing you have a baby that's helpless and can't do anything but just lay there crying and beg for food, to becoming a strong, able-bodied human being that's there, that you can communicate with, that continues to have incremental accomplishments all throughout life, learning to count to 10 for the first time, learning to write, walk, read, going through tough times and having you there as a parent to guide them through that, to give them advice, to have a shoulder that they can cry on. The more I think about this, it's just, and I'm just talking to y'all right now, team, like, you know, I think a lot of this too, and why I'm having this discussion is not necessarily to cause an argument or cause a fight between people or have a big like issue with this. It's more or less to probably help people, like honestly, because you know, we're just seeing it far too often, man. It's just people out here like,
Are you just so old and ugly that you can't hear anymore?
They just are so set in their ways, and there's no adjustment for a lot of these people, and they just really go through life and are irritated and mad at everything. And I agree that like probably a lot of these people shouldn't have kids. So that's the one part I actually do agree with. But I think that it's just a very unfortunate thing to go through life and have this ideology. I do. And I want to be more helpful than divisive in this situation, right? I'm not really trying to attack people. I don't like people that say bad things about children, though. And I think that's where I have a lot of issue with people. So, you know, we can go at it from that standpoint if you really want to tell me all these terrible things about it. But, and I ain't even getting to like, you know, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that part of it. But yeah, team, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I don't really got much else to say. I think we discussed everything as far as this. I do want to hear from y'all, though. You made it this far. You know, leave something in the comments about what you think I said, what you think a lot of people have said, and why there's so many people that have this ideology, and if you have it or if you're the opposite. I just really want to hear from y'all. You know, a lot of times we come on here when we have these discussions, and they're very important, and they're helpful to a lot of people, because someone will come across this video, whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, 30 years from now, and they'll be able to have a different perspective and a different outlook on these things. And they'll hear your comments, and they'll be able to put a lot of information together and come up with a thought process for themselves. And it could be helpful one way or the other. So that's where I'm at. Okay, let's get out of here. Yeah. Yep. My kid actually has a track meet coming up. He didn't do too well in his first race, so I need to work with him, work on his start. He has to get off the blocks faster because he's running the 100 and 200, so the start is so important in those races. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Taking my kids to practice, like talking to them, teaching them stuff. I'm about to text my kids in our group chat right now. Oh yeah, and they all got phones, and it's not that expensive to pay for not only my bill, but theirs too. Y'all be tripping, man. I'm out of here, team.